Hello and welcome to Parliament News. I'm Amrit Pal Singh. Let's take a look at what transpired in the Lok Sabha today. Opposition parties, including the Congress, the TMC, the National Conference, staged a walkout from the Lok Sabha on Friday, protesting against the remarks of UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who had said that the state can become Kashmir, Kerala or West Bengal if the BJP is not voted back to power. As the House met for the last day of the first part of the budget session, opposition members from various parties rose from their seats and reached the near the well, protesting against Yogi Adityanath's remarks. MPs from Kerala Congress had moved an adjournment motion over the remarks. Speaker Om Birla said that the matter would be taken up after the question hour ends and asked the protesting members to go back to their respective seats. Soon after, the members from the TMC, the Congress, the Kerala Congress, the National Conference, the DMK and Samajwadi Party walked out of the House. During the protest, TMC MP Saugata Rao called for Adityanath Jogi, while BSP leader Kumar Daneshali sought an apology from the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary said that such remarks made by a Chief Minister are highly condemnable. This is the first time during the ongoing session of Parliament, which began on the 31st of January, that Lok Sabha witnessed protests during question hour. In a video message on Twitter, Yogi Adityanath had on Thursday said that people should be aware or a 5-year effort will be washed away and it will take no time for Uttar Pradesh to become Kashmir, Kerala or Bengal. This vote will be your guarantee to a life without fear, he had said. The government informed the Lok Sabha that the situation in Afghanistan is of natural concern for neighbouring countries like India, and in broad terms the Central Asian countries share same concerns and similar objectives. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan answered members' queries on the issue during the question hour. India in January hosted the first India-Central Asia Summit in virtual format, which was attended by Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Kyrgyzstan. To a question in Lok Sabha by TMC member Saugata Rao over the broad consensus on Afghanistan at the Central Asia Summit, Muralidharan said that the issue of Afghanistan was discussed during the summit and the situation in Afghanistan is of natural concern for neighbouring countries like India and the Central Asian countries. India and the 5 Central Asian countries also decided to establish a joint working group on Afghanistan, the minister said. The Delhi Declaration was issued after the summit, which reflects the broad consensus on Afghanistan, including humanitarian assistance, combating terrorism and drug trafficking, and preserving the rights of women and children and minorities. It was decided that leaders of India and Central Asian countries would hold a summit-level meeting every 2 years, and the next summit was expected in 2024. Replying to another question, the government told Lok Sabha that more than 40 lakh cancer cases were reported and 22.54 lakh people died of the disease in the country between 2018 and 2020. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandviya said that 13,92,179 cases, cancer cases were reported in 2020, 13,58,415 in 2019 and 13,25,232 cases in 2018. As many as 7,70,231 people lost their lives due to cancer in 2020, 7,51,517 in 2019 and 7,33,139 people in 2018, he said to a written reply. During the 0 hours, members of different parties spoke on a variety of issues and made several demands. BSP member Shyam Singh Yadav demanded that there should be an Ahir regiment within the Indian Army, which will have soldiers from the Yadav community. Congress member Pradyut Bordoloi raised the issue of alleged extrajudicial killings in Assam and demanded a judicial probe into it. BJP MP Sanjay Seth called for a memorial to freedom fighters, while BSP's Daneshali voiced concern over many universities not opening up, though a decision to open schools and colleges has been taken at several places. The House later took up the discussion on various aspects of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Members made several suggestions so that the scheme could benefit more people. The Lok Sabha adjourned to resume its second part of the budget session. Actually, it's already concluded. It will resume the second part of the session on May 14th after a recess of 1 month. And let's now take a look at what transpired in the Rajya Sabha. The proceedings of the upper house began with Deputy Chairman Harivansh saying that Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu had disallowed a notice for suspension of business moved by member John Brittus of the CPIM against Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath for his alleged statements against federalism and secularism. He said that a note by Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party under the Rule 267 has also been disallowed. Thereafter, he allowed members who have not spoken on the general budget to continue the discussion on the budget. Participating in the discussion, Kanak Medala Ravindran Kumar or K. Ravindran Kumar of the TDP, terming the situation in Andhra Pradesh as gloomy, demanded an inquiry into the borrowings and mismanagement of finances by the YSRCP government in Andhra Pradesh. K.C. Ramamurthy of the BJP termed the budget as forward-looking. Responding to a debate, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the government has gone for a budget which stands for continuity and simplified tax structure. Stable and sustainable recovery is one of the big motives, the minister said. She said that sustainable growth will ensure that India remains on the top. She added that startups are being encouraged, which is happening because of access to funds is easy. There are critical ideas through which these startups are contributing to the economy, she said. Budget speaks of stability, a policy of which will guide us for the next 25 years, she added. She said that having a vision for the next 25 years is important. We do not have any vision for the first 70 years except for benefiting one family, she alleged. Highlights of the importance of emphasizing digital technology in governance in the budget. She said it would aid in transparency and governance and ease the process for the common man. Despite the crisis caused by the COVID pandemic, inflation was maintained at 6.1%, while whereas lesser crisis during the previous government it was 9.1%. On the opposition claims that Manrega was brought down by them, she said that while claiming to create a scheme that should also take credit for its misuse. Manrega was infested with ghost accounts. It had people on rolls who were not born. You should also take credit for the misuse of Manrega, he said. An opposition charged members in the economic survey and the union budget are different. She said, I just want to highlight that economic recovery draws its source from one particular set of data, and the government looks at it at advance estimate which comes just before the budget. The advance estimate which could not have been factored in Omicron have been added, so there is some variance in numbers. She said that the allocation in health and family welfare has gone up from 64,000 crore to 86,000 crore. Shakti Singh Goldi of the Congress raised the issue of unparliamentary language being misused by the minister. In reply, Deputy Chairman said that he would go through the minister's speech. The Finance Minister said that the inflation management of the government is robust. She said that it was highest between 2010 and 2014. The highest inflation in the country endured was from 2010 to 2014, when the retail inflation was more than 9% in 22 out of the 28 cases. 28 months, she said. On opposition criticism on disinvestment of PSUs, she said that it was the Malhotra committee set up during the UPA period that recommended bringing in private players in the insurance sector and other PSUs. On the occasion, charged the government is poor. She said that a former Congress president had said that poverty is a state of mind and does not constitute lack of material possessions. On opposition charges that policies are remotely controlled from Nagpur, the minister said that during the UPA period, policies were decided at 10 Janpath and announced at the PM's house. She also referred to the former Congress president tearing a copy of the decision taken by the then Prime Minister. A member said that our policies are remotely controlled from where somewhere, including Nagpur. This comes from a party where there is no party democracy, and the policy was decided in 10 Janpath and announced in 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. One cannot forget the General Secretary tore a bill in the public. He respected Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh was going to meet the US President after 2 hours. Is that remote control? What is it? What is that? The minister said. On opposition asking questions over whether the government plans to legalize the cryptocurrency, she said that we have tax profit emanating from the transactions, and I am doing anything to legalize it or ban it or regulate it. Some members alleging inadequate allocation to states said that there were 22-23 for the allocation of the budget states in 1 lakh crore in the capitalization of the overall investments in the economy for 50 years without any interest burden. In November 2021, we ensured that an advance installment of devolution is given to them and double their cash in hand. Similarly, in January also we began the monthly installment so that they can spend faster, she said. An opposition member said that the country is going through Rahu Kal and not Amrit Kal. He said that it is the Congress party that's going through the Rahul Kal. Rahu Kal is when a sitting PM was about to meet the US President and a bill he cleared was torn up. Rahu Kal is what produces what is called the G23. It is where the Congress party is. Well, that were all the allegations from the BJP side. And senior leaders from the party are leaving their own party and getting out. That's Rahu Kal, and you would get reduced to 44 seats in Lok Sabha. She said that amid uproar from the Congress members after the reply by the minister, Deputy Chairman Harivansh said that discussion on the general budget is now complete. He called for laying special mentions. Thereafter, he thanked all members for the smooth proceedings during the first half of the budget sessions. The proceedings of the House during the first half of the budget session went off smoothly. There was no disruption, and one would want to compliment all sections of the august House in hope that we continue to be guided with the same spirit and future, the Deputy Chairman said. He then adjourned the House to meet on the 14th of March. And that's it then in Parliament News. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.